guys, and welcome to the Week 6 wrap-up. Let's start right away with the scores. Wasco again with the low score, only scoring 68 points. Hopefully he's not falling back into his old ways. And Al with back-to-back high scores, this week scoring 126. I don't know if this is surprising to anyone else, but Al's having a pretty good season. He's 4-2 in a three-way tie in the premium division. I took a look at his roster today, and it just doesn't make sense. If anyone else can make sense of it, please let me know. Hopefully everyone saw the new IR situation. The problem is that ESPN won't let us really follow our IR rules exactly how we want them. Just to recap, the way our IR currently works is you can put a player on IR if he's officially ruled as out. Once you put him on IR, he must stay there for a minimum of 3 weeks. After that, the first week he comes back and plays, he must be off your IR the following week. The problem is ESPN won't let you keep a player in IR unless he's officially ruled as out. So if he comes back and he's doubtful, or he doesn't come back and he's just listed doubtful for 2 weeks, he won't be eligible for IR. This is when you can put him on a protected drop list. And the way you do that is first you contact me. If you drop him before you contact me, that player is free game. Additionally, if you pick up a player who's on the protected drop list, you will still be charged those transaction fees. The protected drop list is available on the message boards at MBFFL.net, and I'll also send out a push notification for those of you who have the app whenever a player is placed on a protected drop list. Clearly, everyone got the invite to Trade Palooza. There's been 10 trades in the last 2 weeks. Some of the more notable trades were LaShawn McCoy for Jordy Nelson and Adrian Peterson for Ben Tate, which is not something you would think would come out of my mouth 2 years ago. More notably, recently, Kevin went nuclear today with his trades. He basically traded away his entire starting roster for new players, so I'll be excited to see how that works out for him. Speaking of Kevin, part of his trades today was basically trading his entire starting roster for Minnesota Vikings. Now, there's being a fan and there's having a problem. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I truly feel like Kevin is suffering from PTSD stemming all the way back from the Adrian Peterson incidents from earlier this year. I think it's our job as a league to hold an intervention for Kevin to make sure he doesn't ruin his fantasy future by trying to make up for Adrian Peterson by filling his roster entirely with Minnesota Vikings. In other news, Craig clearly has zero loyalty. After Megatron carried his team the last 3 or 4 years, including a championship, after he gets injured for 1 week, Craig changes his name from Megatron LLC to Mega Vagina LLC. Not only does that sound like a team name of someone who's never seen a vagina, it's also very disrespectful from the guy who earned him a championship. I'd be careful, Craig, and you should be ashamed of yourself. This week's games of the week both come from the premium division. First, starting with Al versus Baus in a tightly contested premium division, these two will face off together. We reached out to both of them. Here's what Al had to say.
Gonna make this short and sweet. Off to 5-2, courtesy of Ryan Baus. Hopefully you're a little more entertaining than Greg was. Oh, Christ.
We also reached out to Baus, and this is what he had to say.
So I'm here at my favorite watering hole, prepping for my Week 7 matchup. This week it's going to be Al, who I prefer to call Alan Richard Wood. So the message basically here is, you know, it sucks to be Canadian, but it also sucks to get beat by all your former players. Alfred Morris, Matthew Stafford. Those guys are probably going to combine for 80 this week en route to stomping what I believe to be is the first place team in my division. So good luck, Al. You're going to need it. ARW.
Next, also from the premium division, we have Dan versus Kyle. Again, the same situation. In a tightly contested premium division, these two are neck and neck. This game will really matter. We reached out to both of them, and this is what Dan had to say.
Game of the week! Even after a 3-game losing streak, boys, you still got to watch old Ace Boogie look for that 4th victory and turn things around. Kyle, great honor to be playing you this week, man. The offseason brought a lot of questions to whether or not you'd be in the league or not with that kind of that on-again, off-again relationship you had brewing. But, hey, I was always Team Kyle. Not this week, though, man. Need a W. Peace.
We reached out to Kyle, and his calls were not immediately returned, so clearly he'll be doing his talking on the field this week. And that's it for the Week 6 wrap-up. I'll see you guys in Week 7, which is exactly halfway through the fantasy season.